us, whether in person in the boardroom or virtually. So we will be going into closed session. Mr. Alcara.
And they have to go into closed session.
Okay, Mr. Alcara, you're on mute. I'll read the items. So we'll be going into closed session to discuss conference with labor negotiators, public employees appointments, possible action, public employees discipline, dismissal, release, resignation, multiple cases, possible action, student readmission case A29-18. Do we have any comment cards to any of the items we'll be discussing in closed session?
You have two.
Okay. Mr. Baker, Mr. Alcara is on mute. I don't know if he's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Would
I'm
you
trying
mind
to-
reading the
I'm trying to-
comment cards, please.
I'm trying to find them.
B3.
I'm sorry, what is it, Sharon?
B3, pretty much the same comment. B as in boy. B as in boy. B3. Yes, I can. Good evening. We hope that the board will be discussing the dismissal of Grant Union High School Spanish teacher Nicole Burkett for her racist actions during her instructions of our students. It's been 64 days and there has been little to no action on the matter. We are once again requesting Dr. Martinez and Trustee Rivas, Pollard, and Baston step down for their failure to improve school climate in the decade or more they have served the district. In addition to the dismissal of Ms. Burkett, as we fear she will become a part of the emerging bilingual community through reclassification. And that's Padres Organized Community.
Okay, any other comments?
There's one more. And it's pretty much the same comment. And it's by Maria Elena Sepulveda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that, we will adjourn to closed session and we will return at approximately 6:30. Thank you.
Can the closed session link be sent again? For some reason, it's not working.
Good. Don't need anything.
I want fresh air.
Take off your mic.
Oh,
We're just giving the trustees a minute to log back in. Okay, the meeting will be called to order. Would the interpreters please introduce yourselves?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm the Spanish interpreter. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Paul. Soy el intérprete de español y estoy en la línea de español.
Good evening, everyone. This is Oliver Thor. I'm the host interpreter for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barajas. Thank you, Mr. Thor. Thank you for being here again tonight. Next is agenda item E2, report of action taken during closed session. Mr. Alcara?
Yes, we have in closed session, the board adopted resolution number 923, intent to dismiss for immediate unpaid suspension. The vote on this matter was as follows: 7 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Next is agenda item E4, Pledge of Allegiance.
We have, sorry, we do have,
Sorry.
we have board action by separate student readmission case number A29-18.
I'll move it.
Second,
Was that Sandoval?
yes,
Okay, moved by Baker, seconded by Sandoval. Trustee Sandoval,
yes,
Bastian. Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
aye,
O'Carroll, and I, Jefferson.
aye,
The ayes have it 7-0-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Next is agenda item E4, Pledge of Allegiance, led by trustee Bastian. Mr. Bastian?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up wherever your location. Thank you. Salute. Pledge. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the
to
flag
the flag
of the
of the United States of America
and to
and
the
to the republic
republic for
and
which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty and
and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Bastian. Next is agenda item F1 under reports. I have no report this evening. Dr. Martinez?
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's board meeting. I'm going to keep my report rather short because we have a number of resolutions that recognize a number of groups throughout our system and in our community. And so let's just get to the recognitions and give some acknowledgement to some very, very important folks throughout our system. So with that being said, Madam President, that's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Next is agenda item G1, approve personnel recommendations.
I'll move.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Sandoval.
Moved by Baker, seconded by Sandoval. All those in favor, trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Alcars and I, Jefferson.
Aye.
Ayes have it 7-0-0.
Thank you, everyone. Next is agenda item H1, present and adopt Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, resolution number 937. Ms. Sandoval?
Okay, I don't see it up yet. McClellan, California, to inspire each student to extraordinary achievement every day, resolution number 937. In recognition of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, May 2021. Whereas during the month of May 2021, Twin Rivers Unified joins residents of California and the United States to highlight and celebrate the rich achievements of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have made vast contributions to the growth of our district, our community, our state, and the nation in the area of education, government, agriculture, business, literature, science, the military, medicine, and the fine arts. And whereas Twin Rivers Unified is enriched by the diversity of our Twin Rivers school community and is committed to and advocates for equal educational, professional, and social opportunities for all staff, all students and staff. And whereas it is necessary to instill in our youth the importance of education, history, and ethnicity in creating eminent role models, in establishing a proud cultural identity, and producing exceptional citizens of this nation. And whereas AAPI community members have been disproportionately impacted by incidents of hate and discrimination during the COVID-19 pandemic, and these experiences have disproportionately impacted our AAPI youth. Now therefore be it resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues the resolution in honor and recognition of May 2021 as Asian Americans and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and encourage all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the governing board of the Twin Rivers Unified School District on the 4th day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote.
I'll move it.
Second?
Moved by Alcara, seconded by Rivas. All those in favor, trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Alcars and I, Jefferson.
Aye.
Ayes have it 7-0-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara.
And President Rivas, we do have some of our amazing employees that are here to share their stories tonight.
Wonderful.
So the first one, and I'm going to introduce her, she wasn't able to attend tonight. Caroline Tao, who is a teacher at Grant Union High School. She actually teaches Hmong language 1, 2, and 3 at Grant. And the reason why she couldn't be here tonight is because she was doing what great teachers do. She teaches a college course, and so she needed to ensure that she was attending to her college students tonight. And so she wasn't able to make it. She was really trying to adjust her schedule to accommodate to be here tonight, but she was unable to. The next individual that we have is Jilmi Cha. She is a budget analyst senior in our budget department. And so Jilmi.
Hi, good evening. And thank you for the moment in honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Now, to honor API Heritage Month is to honor the diversity that exists within the Asian American community. And though we are all grouped in a large category, our experiences are actually different from one another. Again, my name is Jilmi Cha, and I am a proud member of the Hmong community and employee of Twin Rivers Unified School District. I entered the district in 2004, working as a library media technician for Martin Luther King Jr. Tech Academy. And that is where I saw that diversity was of abundance, both in students and in staff. And the diverse perspectives seen at MLK and throughout the district continuously impacts our students in unimaginable ways. I've also worked in the Human Resources Department, and after almost 17 years with the district, I am still here, growing strong as one with the district as a senior budget analyst in fiscal services. Now, the Hmong people sought refuge in the United States 46 years ago, and Sacramento is now home to a population of about 31,000 Hmongs. Celebrating API Heritage Month is honoring the sacrifices that our parents made during the secret war in Laos and overcoming their challenges of being first-generation Americans. So thank you again for this brief moment in time to acknowledge our experiences as members of this district and this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it and appreciate everything you do for the district. Thank you.
And next we have Mai Yang, principal of Frontier Elementary and Westside Charter at Frontier.
Good evening, Dr. Martinez, board members, fellow Twin Rivers colleagues, and our Twin Rivers family community. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the district and the board for the recognition of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. As a student, I gravitated toward anything that looked like me when learning within the classroom and around the school campus. I think representation is very important for students to feel connected and relevant within the school community. Also, I'd like to thank the district for the support I've been given throughout the years. I started working in the district long before the merge as the district receptionist. I moved on to being a program assistant for the English Learner Department, then Categorical and English Learner Department when we merged. I was actually laid off in 2010. I went back to school, completed my teaching credential, then came back as a teacher for the district again. I taught middle school math, science, MESA, and Project Lead the Way at Rio Linda Preparatory Academy, was the activities director, then became vice principal at Ridgepoint School. Currently, I am the proud principal at Frontier Elementary School and Westside Preparatory Charter School, Frontier Campus. I feel very fortunate being here and being a part of the Twin Rivers family. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you for being here, for everything you're doing for our kids and your continued support of the district and all the students. And I tell you, hearing your story is one of the reasons I think we're also committed to this district, is we always like to provide opportunities for people to meet whatever goals that they have in public education. So thank you, Mai, for being here.
And that is it for the employees for that recognition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is agenda item H2, present and adopt National School Nurse Day Resolution number 929, School Bus Driver Day Resolution number 924. I think we're doing one at a time. I apologize for that. Mr. Okara.
Resolution number 929 in recognition of National School Nurse Day. Whereas our children are our future, our most valuable resource, and providing them appropriate care is our most important responsibility. And whereas children's educational, physical, and emotional development is directly affected by their health and well-being, and whereas our students benefit significantly from having Twin Rivers Unified School District, Twin Rivers Unified School nurses, and other health professionals at our school sites serving a critical role in improving public health. And whereas our school nurses, health professionals act as a liaison to the school community, families, and healthcare providers on behalf of children's health by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for the district's children. And whereas school nurses understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day. And whereas during this unprecedented time of school closure due to COVID-19, the district's school nurses and other health professionals have shown their commitment to all students and staff by working tirelessly to provide safe and nurturing learning environments to meet the needs of all students. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize this extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated school nurses, health professionals, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we laud their individual and combined efforts of all those whose work is serving students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of May 12, 2021, as National School Nurse Day, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the Governance Board of Twin Rivers Unified School District on the 4th day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote.
And President Rivas, if you would like to take all of these resolutions and vote in one vote at the end of the reading of all of them, then we can do that.
Great. Okay, so the next
And before we move on to that resolution, we do have for the for this National School Nurse Day, because of all the work that has been done, we do have our coordinator, Health and Wellness, Christy Kagstrom, who just has a few words to share with the board.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gina, for including our department in this evening's recognitions. I've been a school nurse for 20 years and a pediatric nurse for nearly 30. So I've worked with many different people over the years, but I consider myself very lucky to work with such a great health services team. Throughout this last year, our school nurses and our entire health services department has embracing this special role we play during the pandemic. Credentialed school nurses are assigned 2 to 5 schools and they manage a health office at each. Other key staff members include our 13 licensed vocational nurses, 33 health assistants, and our own senior administrative clerk here at the DO. It is definitely a team effort, and each group has gone above and beyond this year. From last spring, when we were busy supporting staff working in person, getting PPE info out and supplies out to our IT and nutrition services staff and others, and all the others working on sites, to having a nurse at our Chromebook distributions, to bringing supplies directly to families in their homes when needed, along with closely monitoring that ever-evolving CDC, state and county public health guidance, and using that to draft guidance for our district's use. Last summer, we worked closely with public health to pilot in-person assessments safely. We also formed our 7-day-a-week contact tracing program, which was quickly becoming the work of the year. When 100% distance learning began in the fall, the staff surveillance testing that our district had the foresight to procure early on became a priority, as were more staff trainings, and that's when the prep work surrounding symptom rooms happened. We also developed a system to reach out to families with COVID concerns in their household. Then as winter and spring came, hybrid opening tasks were added. Our school nurses and LVNs, they gave hundreds of vaccine shots. Our testing teams continued to test hundreds of staff every month. Upon opening, we've added COVID testing for symptomatic staff and students. We also grew our sports testing program, testing many of our high school athletic teams, allowing more sports to open. And this is when contact tracing entered a new, much busier phase. Throughout it all, most of the normal health office work remained, but it looks different due to the pandemic. Routine immunizations were more difficult to obtain, so we partnered with Elika Health. Their van was on our sites. It's on our sites twice a week. We've also worked with county public health to hold extra vaccine clinics. Vision, hearing, and dental screenings are important work that have also continued in new ways. This pandemic moment in time is really a defining moment for school nursing, and I'm extremely proud of the work of our nurses and all of our health services staff, all the work that they do every day for students and staff and families. Thank you for that. And I want to introduce one of our school nurses who works on our sites, Alexander Burns, and she's been asked to say a few words about what it's like to work on the sites.
Thank you so much for having us here this evening. I work at Rio Linda High School and Foothill High School. I'm also covering Village for a short time. This pandemic has been an opportunity for us to really flex and learn how to pivot and add new roles to our already full plate. Over the past months, as we've been thinking about and preparing for students to come back, it felt a little overwhelming, but we started to meet weekly. We did trainings, we added collaboration, we support each other, and we spend a great deal of time reassuring staff and students and parents that the district has put in place the protocols and the guidance that we need to safely mitigate any kind of exposure as much as possible for our students and our staff. So when we finally reopened in April, it was not nearly the overwhelming experience that we had anticipated. And I'm so grateful to be a part of such a strong health team.
Thanks again for including us tonight.
Thank you both for being here. And I think we all understand how important what you do is to our kids, for our kids, but even more so now. So thank you, and please extend our appreciation to your peers. Thank you. So the next resolution is School Bus Drivers Day, April 27th, 2021. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolution 924 in recognition of School Bus Drivers Day, April 27th, 2021. Whereas annually on the fourth Tuesday of April, the people of California officially recognize all school bus drivers for their continued and excellent services to the youth of the state and those drivers and deserving of special public recognition and the highest commandments. And whereas the safety of our students rests in the hands of trained school bus drivers, and whereas great amounts of personal time and energies for bus drivers' initial training, maintenance, current licensing, skills, and knowledge of school bus drivers through continuing education classes are expanded by drivers. And whereas school bus drivers consistently demonstrate patience and kindness towards students, parents, and staff in the performance of their duties. And whereas school bus drivers consistently demonstrate an awareness of and direct attention to school bus and school bus routes, mechanically and safety conditions respectively. And whereas during the unpredicted times of school closures due to COVID-19, the district school bus drivers were shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to meet the needs of all students and families, including assisting nutrition services and delivering meals. And whereas it is timely and appreciative that we recognize the extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated school bus drivers, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we allude to individual and combined efforts of all those working is serving our students. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues a resolution in honor and recognition of April 27, 2021 as School Bus Driver Day, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion in appropriate instructional activities, passed and adopted by the governing board of the Twin Rivers Unified School District on this fourth day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Do we have anybody from any of our bus drivers with us?
No,
today?
we do not have any more speakers for the resolutions tonight.
Okay, thank you. Next is School Principals Day, May 1st, 2021. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolution 925 in recognition of National School Principals Administrators Day, May 1st, 2021. Whereas the California Department of Education encourages all to recognize May 1st as School Principal/Administrators Day, and whereas all principals and administrators in the Twin Rivers provide and serve critical services in the support of equality education for students. And whereas principals and administrators assume the commitment to lead our young people to have a purposeful future. They support and guide quality teachers and staff, resulting in productive learning environments for our students. And whereas the principals and administrators provide the necessary equipment and resources to support systems and students for fostering academic achievement. And whereas during this unprecedented time of school closure due to the COVID-19, the district principals and administrators have shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to provide a safe and nurturing learning environments to meet the needs of all students. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize the extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated principals and administrators, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts and that we elude the individual and combined efforts of those whose work is serving students. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues the resolution in honor of recognition of May 1st, 2021 as National School Principal and Administrators Day, and encourage all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the Governing Board of Trustees of the Twin Rivers Unified School District this 4th day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. The next item, it's National Teacher Appreciation Week, May 3rd through the 7th, 2021. National Teacher Appreciation Day, May 4th, 2021. California Day of the Teacher, May 12th, 2021. Whereas the Twin Rivers Unified Board of Trustees is honored each year to participate with school districts throughout California in celebrating teachers on California Day of the Teacher, National Teacher Appreciation Week, and National Teacher Appreciation Day. And whereas the stability of our communities in both good and challenging times rests in large part on the public schools maintaining secure and safe environments for learning, achieving, and developing personal self-esteem. And whereas public schools remain as the most effective safety net for many children and their families. And whereas the teachers in Twin Rivers Unified are continually striving to improve the quality of education they're bringing to their students. And whereas Twin Rivers teachers have consistently shown their willingness to seek training and develop strategies to meet the changing needs of our students and have given of themselves at a level above and beyond expectations. And whereas during the unprecedented time of school closure due to COVID-19, members of our teaching staff have shown their commitment to the academic and social emotional well-being of students through the implementation of distance learning, along with their individual efforts to connect with families. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize this extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated teachers, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we the individual and combined efforts of all of those who work in serving students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of May 3rd through 12th, 2021 as National Teacher Appreciation Week, May 4th, 2021 as National Teacher Appreciation Day, and May 12th, 2021 as California Day of the Teacher, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with the appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the Governing Board of the Twin Rivers Unified School District on the 4th day of the month, May 2021, by the following vote. And our next resolution is School Nutrition Employee Week. Resolution 927, whereas nutritional services employees, like all staff, are indispensable to the mission of Twin Rivers Unified, and whereas dedicated TR school cafeteria employees care deeply for the students they feed and prepare and serve approximately 6 million nutritious meals, breakfast and lunch to children each year. And whereas the caring individuals who prepare and serve school meals help nurture our children through their daily interactions and recognize and encourage healthy eating habits. And whereas during the unprecedented time of school closure due to COVID-19, the district's nutritional services employees have shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to provide 5.7 million nutritious curbside meals since March 2020. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize this extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated nutrition services employees, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we laud the individual and combined efforts of all those who work serving students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of May 3rd through 7th, 2021 as School Nutrition Employees Week, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the governing board of the Twin Rivers Unified School District on the 4th day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote. Next resolution is National Police Week. Resolution number 928. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas police services employees serve as our first emergency responders on the front line and provide essential services to ensure the welfare and safety of our students, staff, and community. Whereas Twin Rivers Unified Police Officers strive for excellence in all areas relative to the education community. And whereas during this unprecedented time of school closures due to COVID-19, the district's police services officers have shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to provide safe and nurturing learning environments to meet the needs of all students. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize the extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated police officers, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we laud the individual and combined efforts of all those whose work is serving students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of May 9th through 15th, 2021 as National Police Week, and May 15th, 2021 as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and encourage all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instruction and activities. Passed and adopted by the governing board of Twin Rivers Unified School District on the 4th day of the month of May 2021 by the following vote. Next is Classified School Employees Week. Mr. Alcara.
In recognition of Classified School Employee Week, whereas in 1986, the California legislature adopted the third full week in May of each year as Classified School Employee Week, and whereas classified school employees contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive instructional environment as para-educators and library aides, and whereas classified school employees provide other essential educational services such as facilities, healthcare, maintenance, nutrition services, operations, support services, and transportation. And whereas during this unprecedented time of school closure due to COVID-19, the district's classified employees have shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to provide safe and nurturing learning environments to meet the needs of all students. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that we recognize this extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated classified employees, that we set aside this moment to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we laud the individual and combined efforts of all those whose work is serving students. Now, therefore, be resolved that Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento County, California, hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of May 16th through the 22nd, 2021, as Classified School Employee Week, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities. Is that the last one?
Sorry. No, last but certainly not least, confidential employees recognition. Mr. Baker.
Confidential. Hang on, Madam President. I had a bunch here. There we go. Perfect. Resolution 931 in recognition of the confidential school employees, May 16th through 22 of 2021. Whereas confidential school employees provide valuable services to the Twin Rivers Unified School District. And whereas confidential school employees contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive educational environment and their support of the district mission and vision. And whereas confidential school employees provide essential educational services such as fiscal stability, employment support, instructional and educationally aligned focus. And whereas confidential school employees play a vital role in providing for the operations and management of the district. And whereas during this unprecedented time of school closures due to COVID-19, the district's confidential employees have shown their commitment to all students by working tirelessly to provide a safe and nurturing learning environments to meet the needs of all students. And whereas in this timely and appropriate that we recognize this extraordinary endeavor exercised by our community of dedicated confidential employees, that we set aside this movement to express gratitude for their place in our students' lives, that we appreciate their unique gifts, and that we allude to the individual combined efforts of all these whose work is serving students. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento, California, hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of confidential school employees, May 16th through the 22nd of 2021, and encourages all educational communities to commemorate this occasion and appropriate instructional activities. Passed and adopted by the governing board of the Twin Rivers Unified School District this 4th day of the March of May 2021 by a following vote.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. And that was the last one. And before we vote, I do want to take the opportunity. I know that May is a big month for recognizing school employees in all levels, but I think this year and last year, more times than ever, I think that your presence in our students' lives, whether it was virtually or in person while they were picking up their meals, I think provided more comfort than many of you will ever really know, and some sense of normalcy to our kids, such as it was. So again, we always appreciate the work that you do, but your presence in their lives, I think will, none of us will really understand just how important it was to our kids to help them get through this last year. So thank you all very, very much. And Mr. Alcara, may we take a vote, please?
I'll move all of the resolutions.
Second, Bastian.
Moved by Baker, seconded by Bastian. All those in favor, Trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
LaCars and I, Jefferson.
Aye.
The ayes have it, 7-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Next is agenda item I, consent. Were there any items that any trustees had any questions or comments on? Hearing none, may I have a motion?
We do have public, we do have, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we do have public comment.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alcara.
This is, okay, we are aware of the district's plans to move forward in establishing a K-6 independent study program and is being launched under the name of the current continuation campus, which isn't a problem on its own. However, we know the history of this district, and we know that this particular site has had a history of not providing quality instruction or equal access to all services available to Twin Rivers students. We ask that this not move forward at this time until the community has had an opportunity to review the program and give quality input, especially considering how poorly this district has done during the transition to distance learning. Thank you, Padres Organized Community. And then this is I2, Kima Independent Study. The district plans to move forward in establishing a K-6 independent study program, and it is being launched under the name of the current continuation campus, which isn't a problem. However, the history of this district is well known, and this particular site has had a history of not providing quality instruction or equal access to all services available to Twin Rivers students. This district has faced litigation at least twice from this site alone. I ask that this not move forward at this time until the community has had an opportunity to review the program and give input on this, especially considering how poorly the district has done during the transition to distance learning. Thank you, Maria Elena Spuveda. I believe that is all.
Great, thank you, Mr. Alcara. And with that, may I have a motion?
I'll move them.
Thank
Second,
you.
Ashton.
Thank you.
Moved by Baker, seconded by Bastian. All those in favor, Trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Torres and I, Jefferson.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 7-0-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. No, next is agenda item J, oral communications, organizations, employee organizations. Mr. Alcara, did any of the employee organizations submit comments this evening?
Yes, we do have from CSCA. Good evening, school board. Our 1,400 CSCA members are confused, exhausted, and disappointed by the Jekyll and Hyde approach our district's administrative team has taken with classified employees. In public, the superintendent and the district vocalizes its respect, gratitude, and admiration of the work of our dedicated staff has always accomplished, in particular during this unprecedented health crisis, where classified staff equally impacted did not stop showing up, making it work, and getting it done. We hear and we do truly appreciate the praise of how critical and important we are to this district. But like the fictional character, an equally callous persona lingers, unmoved and uninterested in demonstrating the compassion and pride they promote so publicly. Our classified brothers and sisters are continuously demoralized by our district's mentality of refusing to find agreement for fear of losing power and control. In public, we all see this, the slideshows of classified staff and read the commendations for Employee of the Year programs at the table. Our district eliminates a multimedia position due to lack of work, only to request the contracting out of multimedia production now needed. In public, the district expresses concern about the lack of efficiency in not being able to contract out critical or necessary work. In reality, the district can already approach CSCA at any time when that emergency work is urgent. Publicly, the district speaks to their desire in reaching an agreement and efforts to work with labor partners. In truth, proposals are given as all or nothing bargains that cannot be reviewed individually to identify common ground and show no middle ground. Returning to normalcy in our schools is desired by everyone, including all of CSCA. However, it appears that when it comes to bargaining and negotiations with our classified employees, our district quickly returned to those good old days where management prioritizes power over partnerships, force over fairness, and control over collaboration. For CSCA's relationship with the district, we feel like we are already all the way back. CSCA showing up, doing the work and getting it done, and the district playing the part of Jekyll and Hyde. On behalf of every one of our members, thank you for your time and for your recognition. Now we wait for your action. Vicky Gunter, Administrative Secretary, TRUSD, CSCA Chapter 1717, President.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara.
And that's all for
Great,
comments.
thank you. Next is agenda item K, oral communications, hearing of the public. Do we have any speakers for items that were not on the agenda? Any comment cards, rather?
Yes, we do. All right, sorry, let me just pull up the timer real quick so I can pace myself when I'm reading. Okay. Dear board members and Superintendent Martinez, why is the board meeting changed from May 18th to May 25th? Rio Tierra Junior High needs to be remodeled. The roof was not replaced but cheaply repaired by the previous administrator. Please visit Rio Tierra in the neighborhood and see for yourself the extreme remodeling it needs. Please consider setting out a reminder for board meetings unless you want low participation. Then you keep doing the same things over and over again, ignoring the history of California and this region. Ignoring the history will only set us up to repeat it. Plus, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. Please also consider starting off your board meetings recognizing that we are living on stolen land. The Native American Resource Center, American River College, has the following statement, Indigenous Land Use Statement. We acknowledge the land which we occupy today as a traditional home of the Nisin, Maidu, and Miwok tribal nations. These sovereign people have been the caretakers of this land since time immemorial. Despite centuries of genocide and occupation, the Nisin, Maidu, and Miwok continue as vibrant and resilient tribes and bands, both federally recognized and unrecognized. We take this opportunity to acknowledge the generations that have gone before us, as well as the present day Anisinan, Maidu, and Miwok people. Thank you for your time. Yesenia Lopez. Good evening, board members. First and foremost, thank you for your time. I'm here today to introduce myself as a resource to the Twin Rivers Unified School District community and would like to discuss ways I can support TRUSD in the immediate future, as well as over the next several years. My name is Kristen Miller, and I'm a longtime Sacramento-based educator and have served in traditional education roles since 2006. I was predominantly a high school math teacher, but also taught avid and career technical education, developed courses and pathways, and took on increasing leadership responsibilities before taking an assistant principal position in 2017. During that time, I saw the transformative nature of restorative practices from a conflict resolution standpoint and made the decision to start an organization devoted to working directly with schools and districts, providing training, coaching, guidance, and support in transformative social emotional learning to promote equity and social justice, also restorative practices, trauma-informed practices, and positive behavioral interventions and support. I have spent my entire career implementing these practices and informally training other colleagues, and I've seen tremendous improvements in academic achievement, disciplinary infractions, as well as school culture and climate. For the last 3 years, I have worked directly with schools and districts throughout California, providing training and follow-up coaching and support in these areas. The COVID pandemic has provided us with a tremendous opportunity to reimagine how we interact with our students and serve them and their families daily. I would like to have the opportunity to work with TRUSD staff providing training and follow-up coaching and support to ensure we are doing justice for our students, our schools, and our community. I have put together a brief package with additional details and would love to follow up with you to discuss this further at a time in a manner that works best for you. What would be the most efficient way doing that? With gratitude, Kristen Miller, Educational Leadership with Heart Project, Sacramento, California. This is from Diane Lundbeck. Dear board members, a few years ago, you added textbooks to elementary librarians' jobs without any more hours, days, or pay, and textbooks were the main difference between the Tech 1 and Tech 2's jobs. This new science adoption has a lot more consumable curriculum for the elementary students. Grade K3 have 3 additional science notebooks per student, and grades 4 through 5 have 4 additional science notebooks per student. ELA already had 5 different consumable books for each student grades 1 through 6, compared to junior high with only 2 books. Many elementary librarians have more students than junior high, yet we have less hours and less days. This additional consumable curriculum takes more time to sort and distribute, which means even less library time for students. Yet we were not given any more hours or days. And now Chromebooks were added to our workloads. Chromebook issues and having to clean them, load them out, or exchange them are time consuming. Tech 1s are only 3 to 6 hour positions, 182 days a year. Tech 2s are all 8 hours, 200 days a year. Many elementary librarians have more students, which also means more consumable curriculum than Tech 2s, and this consumable curriculum comes every year. There are 32 elementary and junior high librarians. In the last year and a half, 14 librarians have left. That is a high turnover rate. I'm asking for fairness, that you at least give elementary librarians more days to handle the additional workloads that we have been given. I hope you will really consider adding days for the elementary librarians so that when you go back to full in-person learning, the students aren't losing even more library time. Reading is essential in trying for a good, successful job. Thank you for listening. Diane Lumbeck. This comment was already read. This is from Padres Organized Community. The district and board does not seem to be concerned with community safety. You are interested in creating distance between themselves and the community with their personal security, known as Twin Rivers Police, $3.8 million. And this board had the mother of a child predator sitting on this board for 3 years, who still claims connections to our district. This district endorses her by continuing to advertise her on the website as a board member still. This woman has sent her relatives to people's homes for physical altercations because they spoke out against her and her abuse of power as a board member. This district sat there and demonstrated how alive and well racism is within our community, and the board at their last meeting. We are tired of waiting for Dr. Martinez and friends to give us their solutions to problems we are asking for accountability and transparency on. Meanwhile, stakeholders and advocates have physical threats made against them and arson committed on their personal property. The district still has not addressed the actions and behaviors of Grant High Spanish teacher Nikki Burkett. Thank you, Padres Organized Community. All right, this is from Crystal Harding. Good evening, Superintendent and trustees. My family and I are in total agreement with the letter submitted by SJPC. We encourage you to use the tools and resources already available to provide access to live public comments, e-comments, and other methods to increase engagement, feedback, and participation. We hope you can advertise board meetings on social media, through text messages, and Aries. Give the clerk a break and utilize means that are possible. Invest more in our students and schools, people and programs, and not law enforcement. Now's the time to show us, through your budget, why and where your values and objectives are. We want a school to profession pipeline. Invest in students and teachers, the school sites, and what we offer that addresses social emotional learning, restorative practices, summer slide and learning loss, mentorship opportunities, support services, custom educational plans for every student, reimagine school culture and climate. Allow our students and teachers to advise you on what they need, what they want and need. Think of prevention and intervention strategies that work and not institutional responses that have proven not to work. That has brought us to where we are now. For example, how much is invested per student as opposed to an inmate? How much for counselors, social workers, and positive adults than officers? How many officers will serve what amount of students in comparison to how many teachers and therapists we have for students? Lastly, this pandemic has exacerbated and shown what African Americans, Indigenous people of color have been experiencing. The current history books do not tell the full stories and offer biased perspectives. We need to acknowledge the whole truth, facts, and implement a multicultural ethnic studies curriculum that exceeds 21st century standards. As trustees on the board, I am certain you ran to serve and bring meaningful change, not for you personally, but for your constituents, for our scholars. Thank you for your time, leadership, and service. Peace, Crystal and family. It looks like this one was a duplicate. This is one by Crystal Harding. Good evening. As a director on the board of North Highlands Recreation and Park District, I encourage all community members to share any feedback, suggestions, concerns, or comments at any time. Check out nhrpd.org, nhrpd.org, and contact us. You can call, email, or provide comments online. Also super excited. Registration for spring and summer camps is open. Sign up today. Our board meetings are on second Thursday of each month at 6:30 p.m. We encourage you to like and follow our Facebook and Instagram to stay in the loop at NHRPD. Thanks for your time. Feel free to call or text me anytime. Crystal Harding, Director, 916-905-3553, North Highlands Recreation and Park District. This is from Gene Jackson. Indoctrination, the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Parents were not notified that the curriculum the teachers were teaching in health science were that of controversial, and that as parents were not able to make the decision to opt their child out of this curriculum. I request that parents be notified by mail what has been taught and what is going to be taught. That is all, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara.
Actually, let me just double check. There's a one
Okay.
that came in. I just want to make sure. Yeah, there's one more here.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. Look that I caught it. Okay. This is by Kula Coing, founder of Social Justice Politicorp. All right. Dear trustees and Superintendent Martinez, I was disturbed when I watched the last board meeting to see blatant racism displayed by Trustee Bastian. On the day of the trial verdict in the George Floyd murder case, I heard Trustee Bastian gasp, "Oh God," in frustration when Trustee Sandoval wanted to read a message in recognition of the verdict and racism in this country. This bothered Trustee Bastian so much that he reversed his decision to support requests on data regarding the actions of the Twin Rivers Police. I was insulted when he said, "I'm not living in the past," because as a Black woman, I'm not living in the past either. I live in the present where cops are killing Black people regularly. I live in the present where Micaiah Bryant was shot by a cop on that same April 20th day that Trustee Bastian says he doesn't want to live in the past. Shameful. Now on to other matters. There has still been no response on the on allowing the public to call in to deliver live public comment. I heard Trustee Baker, Jefferson, Alcara, and Sandoval say they were okay with live public comments. I heard suggestions being made on how this could be done. So what exactly is the holdup? This is not rocket science. Even doing simple things like having an RSS feed so that folks can be alerted when you change your meeting dates, or if there are new documents uploaded where would go a long way. Other districts in Sacramento have implemented such engagement tools. CDE has tech support for such engagement tools. So that only leads me to believe some on this board are unwilling. What have you got to hide? I'm requesting this board agendize for the next board meeting on May 25th. The contents in the letter sent by SJPC on April 20th regarding live streaming, live public comments, Twiniverse police data, and a 21st century multicultural education. As our letter states, we want to work with you, not against you. Soon, I hope to give my own comments and not have Trustee Alcara try to do them justice. My voice matters. Sincerely, Kula Cohen, founder, Social Justice Corps. And I'll just double check one more time. And Sharon, if I missed anything, please do let me know. I believe that's all.
I think you covered it well. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Mr. Alcara. Okay, agenda item L, adopt resolution.
I'm sorry,
number-
1 second. I'm sorry, 1 second, real quick. I do have, okay, sorry, 1 second. Waiting for it to load. All right, so we have, I'll tell you how many comments here, and it's the same comment, and I will read it out, but I'm gonna read the names right now of who submitted this comment. This is Nako Jalab Yang. Sorry, and it's this is Goya Yang. Also, this is from Mackie, Sacramento community organizer from Among Innovating Politics. Also, Reagan Novencido, Der Yang, Li Tao, Yi Tao, Ajalyn Lee, Samantha Trias, Catherine Mua, Samantha Seam, Kayla Lohr, Vanessa Lohr, Megan Sapi Gao, Elaine, Lilo, Jane Lohr, Me Lohr, Pania Her, and Michael Lai. Dear TRUSD trustees, I'm an alumni of Grant High School, and I'm writing to share my concern about the TRUSD's lack of transparency and community engagement. We cannot adopt a resolution on Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month without acknowledging the harm the school district has done to the Asian American and Pacific Islander community by allowing the racist actions of a Grant teacher to remain unanswered. The community has yet to receive an official apology from TRUSD's Board of Trustees, Superintendent, or for the behavior allowed under their administration. There is no transparency and effort to engage the community to address these issues. To honor Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we demand TRUSD Board of Trustees, 1, agendize a proposal to allow live public comments during TRUSD board meetings to increase community engagement. 2, adopt ethnic studies as a graduation requirement. 3, develop ethnic studies in collaboration with local community members and experts through a 7-11 committee. Number 4, report on the use of $3.5 million towards the TRUSD Police Department and their impact. 5, reinvest in student programs and services like hiring social workers, investing in trauma-informed healing, and social emotional support, youth programs, and restorative practices that are culturally and linguistically appropriate. And 5, invest $20,000 granted by CDE to develop and implement the racial equity and anti-discrimination training to ensure our students' safety in these classrooms. These trainings must be led and developed in partnership with local community leaders and community-based organizations. And this was from 19 names that I mentioned.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Next is agenda item L, present discussion, school staff adopt resolution number 933 to pay absent board member Bob Bastian. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, moved by, sorry, 1 second.
Jefferson.
Okay, so it was, sorry, who?
It was Baker and Jefferson.
Moved by Baker, second by Jefferson. All those in favor, Trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Abstain.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Alcaraz, aye. Jefferson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. 6 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 abstention.
Thank you. Adopt resolution number 9.
Sorry, President Rivas.
Yes.
There were 2 additional comments, public comments, that I missed, and so just whenever you instruct me, I will read them.
Okay, let's get to these couple of resolutions, if you don't mind, and then we'll go back to those couple of comments, if that's okay with you,
Yep.
Mr. Alcar. Great. Adopt resolution number 934 to pay absent board member Christine Jefferson. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll move. Second.
Moved by Baker, seconded by Sandoval. All those in favor, Trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian, Trustee Bob Bastian.
Yes. Can you hear me back?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Alcaraz, aye. Jefferson.
Abstain.
The ayes have it. 6 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 abstention.
Thank you. Adopt resolution number 935 to pay absent board member Rebecca Sandoval. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second. All right, moved by Baker, seconded by Bastian. All those in favor, Trustee Sandoval,
Yes.
Bastian,
Yes.
Rivas,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Alcaraz, aye. Jefferson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. 7-0-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alcar. We'll go back to read those remaining couple of board, community comments.
This is from Maria Elena Sepulveda. 3 days before the end of Black History Month, Grant Union High School teacher Nikki Burkett displayed racist actions during her lecture, and this district put her on leave and gave some plastic apologies. This is not enough. Your attempts to show your diversity and equality isn't even pandering. It's busy work at best. Do better. Some of you have failed these communities for decades. It's time to let go of power over the people of this district and allow them to work towards improving their communities and futures. Thank you, Maria Elena Sepulveda. This is from Padres Organized Community. It has been 64 days since Grant Union High School teacher Nick Burkett displayed racist actions during her lecture, and this district put her on leave and gave some plastic apologies. This is not enough. And your attempts to show your diversity and equality isn't even pandering. It's busy work at best. Do better. Some of you have failed these communities for decades. It's time to let go of the power over the people of this district and allow them to work towards improving their communities and futures. Thank you, Padres Organized Community. And Sharon, please let me know if I missed anything.
Padre community.
I got that one, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Next is agenda item N, Board Superintendent Communications. Were there any items any trustees wanted brought forward at a later date?
Just wanted to ask about when we're going to propose the new meeting protocols in terms of the public comments. I know we brought it up. I just wondered what day are we going to either.
Mr. Alcara, we're going to provide the board with two options. And then at our next board meeting, we plan on transitioning to either in-person or recorded, but we will get some in-person interaction.
But in terms of folks that call in and queue up, are we gonna have that option where folks can queue up through Zoom?
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're talking about there'll be two options that the board can look at. And then what we'll do is we'll put it out on our website. We'll let folks know what time they need to call in and what the protocols will be so that we'll actually be moving forward at our next board meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Anything else? Then we will move on to board comments, and I'm going to take people as I see them on my screen. Ms. Sandoval?
Yes, I have a comment. It was very concerning to me that at our last meeting that members of the public proposed recommendation to use TR Police Department budget to fund a robust ethnic studies program. And during all of those comments, nobody said anything negative about the police department. I'll say again, they asked to use the budget for ethnic studies program. However, Trustee Bastian made comments and took it that people were saying negative things about the police department and made me very aware that he has not moved on from concerns that the community had, very valid concerns regarding the police department. And I think this board needs to revisit that, what occurred, and get a clear understanding. We cannot have those same things happening, and we cannot discount the concerns of this community, of two communities in particular that were adversely affected. I have received a lot of comments about what Mr. Bastian said. And again, it is very disturbing. And I want to state, nobody said anything bad about the police department except Mr. Bastian.
Mr. Alcara?
I made this comment at a previous meeting, but since it's API Heritage Month, just do want to reiterate, support for the API community, which my family does belong to, and so I've been working very close with the API community for a long time. I'm a product of the API community. I think I mentioned this before. I went to high school in San Francisco, and our school was 33% African American, 33% Latino, and it was a Filipina American working for a Chinese organization that was housed at our school that helped so many people of color get into college. And so just show my appreciation for the API community and the richness and the diversity they bring to our community. And it's still a challenging time for the API community, so we stand in solidarity with them as we've been seeing an increase in hate incidents and hate crimes. And so just a message of solidarity to our beautiful API community.
Thank you, Mr. Alcara. Ms. Fowler?
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fowler. Mr. Baker?
Thank you, Madam President. I have no comments tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Jefferson.
Yes, I'm glad that Dr. Martinez brought up the fact of that we're going to entertain the implemented system, have two choices where the public can call in, because I too would like for that to happen. And I really would like I know trustee Sandoval brought up the fact that we needed to go review the police handbook. I'd like to see that happen, and I'd like to see some the board members or community or somebody help review, just so that we know what's in there. I would like to see that happen. I don't know what happened to that. I think we talked about it, but I didn't see anything else going on. We were going to do a 7-Eleven, but I think they said we couldn't do a 7-Eleven, but I would like to see something in that, some kind of review or something. And then it would just bring clarity and everybody would know what is what as far as that police handbook goes. Just want to thank all those people that we gave recognition to, for all those groups. Really appreciate all your hard work. Keep it up. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Jefferson. Mr. Bastian?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to make a statement to the total community if I could, please.
Of course.
First, to anyone that thought my words at the last board meeting were disrespectful, I would like to say that I definitely did not mean them in that way. I was trying to think of a way for us as a board to learn more about the activities of the Twin Rivers Police Department. At a time in our society when we are seeking more accountability and transparency of the police, I believe the board was not hearing enough about our Twin Rivers Police Department. That is why my suggestion that a monthly report from them be given to the board so we could learn more about their 24/7 activities. I was not suggesting they conduct more enforcement about policies such as the former Grant Police. The former Grant Police, what they did, that was an entirely different time of frame. When the Twin Rivers District was formed, the new board, which I was a member, listened to the communities and redefined the school police policies. The goal was to be focused on the safety of our students and staff and not focused on traffic citations. That was in the past, and I was hoping we could move on and take a look at the current school police policies and activities instead of focusing on all police. I felt it was time to learn more about our school police. In other words, I was seeking for accountability and transparency. Unfortunately, at the last meeting, my frustration was evident. I made a request for more information so that as a board member, we would have a better understanding of the workings of our school police. This suggestion was by no means meant to be disrespectful to anyone. Gaining more information and being more transparent was my main intent. Only if we listen, question, and learn from each other can we move on. I have respect for all of our communities, and I want input from every area. I don't believe name calling and angry attacks by social media serve any productive purposes in reaching a solution. Those that feel I was disrespectful in making my request do not really know me. If they did, they would know that I am always have been willing to talk to the community members, parents, students, and staff in person on the phone. Those that have reached out to me know I am willing to discuss my concerns. Only with respectful communication can we learn and move on for a positive outcome to ensure a safe learning community. Environmental, as we strive to provide for the best educational program for our Twin Rivers students. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to contact me with positive and the negative and any other district concerns. Thank you very much. Bob Bastian, Area 4.
Thank you, Mr. Bastian. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Rivas, may I say something?
Ms. Sandoval, I think.
Of course, you're not going to let me say anything.
Okay, Ms.
Michelle.
Sandoval, it's my turn. You had your turn. Thank you. So I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight and just remind each other, let's try to treat each other with dignity and respect and try to be understanding of our different views of the world. I think everybody comes to this meeting, and anybody who's actually given their time in public education, we all have the same goal in mind. We're all here to support the students. And I think we all could do a better job of making sure that we're keeping our focus on the students and model behaviors that we would hope that they would reflect in their own lives. So with that, thank you very much, everybody. And again, I appreciate your time. Please, everyone, stay healthy. And that does conclude the business of the board this evening. Thank you, everyone.
Bob, listen to the last meeting. Listen to what you said at the last meeting, Bob. Listen to what you said, and then think about it. Nobody misinterpreted what you said, and the things that happened. You're trying to say everything that happened with Twin Rivers Police Department was Grant. That's untrue.
Thank you, everyone. Be well. Good night.